Have you ever wondered why so many elders wake up 2, 3, even 5 times a night just to pass urine? Most people believe it's just part of getting older, but let me tell you something shocking. It's not true. Medical science calls this condition nocturia, and according to Dr. Aman Arora, a physician with over 30 years of experience in both the US and India, it's not simply aging. It's often caused by daily habits that can be gently corrected. Think of Mr. Ramesh, a retired teacher from Jaipur. For years, he thought his sleepless nights were just destiny. He would wake up 4 or 5 times every night, feeling drained and restless in the morning. But when he learned to adjust small habits, like moving his dinner earlier, cutting back on watery foods before bedtime, and avoiding that just-in-case bathroom trip, his life changed. Within weeks, he began sleeping through the night. He told me, "I feel 10 years younger." Interrupted sleep doesn't just steal your rest. It weakens memory, lowers immunity, and even increases the risk of falls at night. But here's the hope. More than 80% of nocturia cases can be improved without medicine, simply by changing how and when we eat, drink, and sleep. So, let me ask you, what small habit could you change tonight to give yourself the gift of deep, healing sleep again? Now that we understand nocturia is not just aging but often our daily choices, let's dive into the 5 common habits that quietly disturb your nights, and more importantly, how to change them so you can finally enjoy peaceful, uninterrupted sleep again. Habit 1. Too many liquids or watery foods. Before bedtime. One of the most overlooked reasons elders wake up several times at night is simply this: too many liquids, too close to bedtime. We often think, if I just avoid water right before bed, I'll be fine. But the truth is more subtle. In many Indian households, dinner isn't complete without a bowl of hot soup, a few slices of juicy watermelon, or a soothing cup of herbal tea before sleep. These choices feel comforting, even healthy, but they may quietly be the reason you keep rushing to the bathroom at night. Take the story of Mrs. Shalini Rao, a 71-year-old grandmother from Hyderabad. For years, she struggled with waking up 4 to 5 times every single night. She tried every home remedy she could think of, limiting water after 9 p.m., taking naps during the day, even considering bladder medications. Nothing seemed to help. She once laughed sadly and said, "I feel like a watchman guarding my own bladder." When she finally spoke with Dr. Aman Arora, he asked her to carefully recall everything she ate and drank in the evening. The surprising culprit: her beloved rasam soup after dinner, followed by warm chamomile tea just before bed. These were the very things filling her bladder at midnight. Dr. Arora guided her to set what he called a liquid cut-off time, 3 hours before going to bed. After that point, she reduced or avoided not only water, but also watery foods like soups, milk, juicy fruits, and even cooling ice lollies. At first, Mrs. Rao was doubtful. Could skipping her comforting evening tea really make a difference? But within 2 weeks of following this simple rule, something magical happened. She began waking up only once at night. Some nights, she slept through until sunrise, a blessing she hadn't experienced in years. The science is clear. When you limit liquids before bedtime, your body naturally produces more vasopressin, a hormone that tells your kidneys to slow down urine production during sleep. The result is not only fewer bathroom trips, but also deeper, more refreshing rest. People often describe feeling clearer in the morning, lighter in the body, and more energetic throughout the day. Of course, for elders with diabetes or those on medications that cause thirst, this adjustment needs care. In such cases, it's best to speak with a doctor about shifting fluid intake to earlier in the day. And if you do feel thirsty at night, keep a small bottle of water by your bedside, but use it only if absolutely necessary. Mrs. Rao now tells her grandchildren, "Skipping that 1 cup of tea gave me back my whole night's rest." Each morning, she feels as though she has regained 10 years of her life. And maybe, just maybe, this small shift could be your first step too. Imagine the gift of waking up refreshed without rushing to the bathroom in the dark. Sometimes, all it takes is one gentle change to give your nights back the peace they deserve. Did you know that something as simple as eating dinner too late or sipping that innocent cup of green tea could be the very reason you're waking up again and again at night? Habit 2. Late dinners and natural diuretics. Did you know that something as simple as the timing of your dinner, or that harmless cup of green tea after a meal, could be silently disturbing your nights? Many elders believe their bladder is weakening with age, but in reality, certain foods and drinks consumed at the wrong time may be quietly working against them. Natural diuretics are all around us. Watermelon, tomatoes, celery, asparagus, even something as comforting as chocolate, coffee, or green tea. These foods, when taken late in the day, gently push the kidneys and bladder into overdrive. Instead of allowing your body to rest, they send signals to release more urine while you are trying to sleep. Let me share the story of Mr. Prakash Iyer, a 69-year-old retired banker from Chennai. For years, he had accepted his nightly awakenings as just part of aging. His routine was simple: dinner around 8:30 p.m., followed by a soothing cup of green tea while chatting with his wife. At first, he didn't connect his routine with his broken sleep. But every night, without fail, he would wake up at 1 a.m., again around 3:30, and finally at 5:30. By morning, he felt like a ghost drifting through the day, physically present, but never fully awake or refreshed. One day, during a health workshop for seniors, he met Dr. Aman Arora. With over 30 years of medical practice in the US and India, Dr. Arora has seen hundreds of elders struggle with the same pattern. He gently explained to Mr. Iyer that late dinners combined with diuretic foods after sunset were likely the hidden culprits. "Your body has a natural clock," Dr. Arora said. "When you eat late, especially foods that stimulate the kidneys, you are forcing your system to stay active through the night instead of resting." Though skeptical, Mr. Iyer agreed to try a few simple changes. He shifted his dinner to 6:30 p.m., much earlier than before, and cut out all diuretic foods and drinks after 4 p.m. No watermelon slices after dinner, no chocolate in the evening, and most importantly, no green tea before bed. At first, it felt strange. He missed his nightly tea, and his grandchildren teased him about eating so early. But within 10 days, he noticed something remarkable. He woke up only once per night. By the 3rd week, he was sleeping 6 uninterrupted hours at a stretch, something he hadn't experienced in over a decade. The benefits went far beyond sleep. His digestion improved noticeably. By giving his body enough time to process food before lying down, he no longer suffered from the acid reflux that had troubled him for years. He also noticed more energy during the day. His mind felt sharper, his mood more balanced. "I never thought eating earlier could give me back my mornings," he said with a smile. His wife even joked that he looked energetic enough to join her morning yoga class again. The science behind his transformation is clear. Our bodies follow a circadian rhythm, a natural cycle that regulates hormones, digestion, and even kidney function. When we eat late at night, especially diuretic foods, we disrupt this rhythm. The digestive system remains active, the bladder fills more quickly, and the body is forced into a restless state instead of deep, healing sleep. By simply moving dinner earlier and avoiding natural diuretics in the evening, we align ourselves with the body's natural design. And it's not just about fewer bathroom trips. Earlier dinners give the body time to absorb nutrients more effectively. Elders often struggle with nutrient deficiencies, not because of what they eat, but because of when they eat. Late-night meals are poorly digested, leading to bloating, reflux, and reduced absorption. By shifting dinner earlier, vitamins and minerals are absorbed more efficiently, supporting overall vitality. Mr. Iyer's story is not unique. Across India, countless elders have rediscovered peaceful sleep with this simple shift. Imagine being able to sit with your family for dinner at 6, enjoy conversation, and then allow your body to rest naturally. No late-night teas, no midnight chocolate, no heavy meals right before bed. Just a light, nourishing meal at the right time. So, if you often wake up multiple times at night, ask yourself, what time am I eating dinner? Am I unknowingly loading my evenings with natural diuretics? The answer might surprise you. Sometimes the path to deep, uninterrupted sleep is not a complicated medical treatment, but a humble change in the clock and the plate. As Dr. Aurora often reminds his patients, your nights are not meant for digestion, they are meant for healing. By respecting this wisdom, you too can reclaim the peaceful nights and energetic mornings you truly deserve. We've talked about liquids and late dinners, but there's another surprising habit that keeps many elders awake at night. It's something most of us were taught to do since childhood, going to the bathroom just in case before bed. It feels sensible, almost protective. But what if this very routine is quietly training your bladder to wake you up again and again, even when it isn't truly full? Let me share the story of one woman who discovered the power of trusting her body's true signals. Habit 3. The just in case. Bathroom trip before bed. From childhood, many of us were taught to use the toilet before bedtime. Better safe than sorry, our parents would say. It feels like a sensible, protective ritual. But for elders struggling with nocturia, this habit can quietly turn into a hidden trap. By emptying the bladder when it isn't truly full, we may unknowingly be training our body to sound false alarms through the night. Let me tell you the story of Mrs. Leela Nair, a 73-year-old widow from Trivandrum. Leela lived with her daughter and 2 young grandchildren. Every night, after reading a few pages from her favorite spiritual book, she would sip a glass of warm milk and then, almost automatically, head to the bathroom. I didn't really feel the urge, she admitted later, but I thought it was the wise thing to do, to make sure I wouldn't wake up later. And yet, despite this routine, Leela found herself waking up at least 3 to 4 times every night. Sometimes it was at midnight, sometimes at 2 a.m., and again around 4. Each time she would shuffle slowly to the bathroom, return to bed, and struggle to fall asleep again. In the mornings, she felt exhausted, irritable, and drained of energy. Her daughter often worried about her falling during these nightly trips. Finally, Leela decided to consult Dr. Aman Arora. After listening carefully, Dr. Arora explained something she had never considered. Your bladder is like a muscle with memory. If you keep emptying it when it isn't full, it learns to send signals too early, sometimes even at just 100 milliliters of urine instead of the normal 300 to 500. Over time, your body gets trained to wake up at night for no real reason. Leela was surprised. Could her innocent bedtime routine really be the cause of so much broken sleep? Dr. Aurora introduced her to what he called the true urge principle. Only go to the toilet when the body sends a genuine signal, not out of habit or fear. He encouraged her to resist the just-in-case trip and instead distract her mind with something gentle. Reading a few more pages, meditating lightly, or listening to calming bhajans for 15-20 minutes. At first, it wasn't easy. Leela admitted she felt anxious skipping her usual bathroom visit. The thought of waking up later made her uneasy. But gradually, as she practiced listening to her body's true signals, something remarkable happened. Within 3 weeks, her bladder began to relearn patience. She was no longer waking up 3 or 4 times. Most nights, she slept peacefully for 5 to 6 hours at a stretch. "I never realized," she told her daughter one morning, "that I was creating my own problem. By trusting my body, I've finally given myself back my sleep." The science behind this is powerful. The bladder is made up of muscle fibers that expand and contract. When you empty it too often without need, the nervous system adapts, interpreting even small amounts of urine as urgent. This creates a cycle of false signals, disrupting deep sleep unnecessarily. But by gradually retraining the bladder, waiting until it is genuinely full before responding, you restore its natural rhythm. The benefits go beyond fewer bathroom trips. With longer stretches of deep sleep, Leela's memory felt sharper, her mood more balanced, and her mornings lighter. She even joined her grandchildren for a walk in the park again, something she hadn't had the energy for in years. Of course, every individual is different. Elders on diuretic medication or those with specific medical conditions should consult their doctor before making changes. And for those with limited mobility, keeping a small water bottle or bedside urinal within reach is fine, as long as it's used only when truly necessary, not out of habit. Leela's story is a reminder that sometimes our best intentions can backfire. What feels like a small, protective action, emptying the bladder just in case, may in fact be the very reason sleep keeps slipping away. So tonight, before you head automatically to the bathroom, pause for a moment. Ask yourself, do I really feel the urge? Or am I just following a routine I never questioned? Trust your body's signals. Give your bladder a chance to relearn its natural rhythm, because sometimes letting go of one unnecessary habit is all it takes to bring back an entire night of peaceful, healing sleep. We've talked about food, drinks, and bathroom habits, but here's something most people never suspect. The way you sleep itself could be the reason you keep waking up at night. For many elders, years of sleeping on the stomach or using a pillow that's too high or too flat silently puts pressure on the bladder and even disrupts blood circulation. Let me share the story of one man who discovered that a simple change in sleeping posture and the right pillow could transform his nights into hours of peaceful, uninterrupted rest. Habit 4. Sleeping posture and the wrong pillow. When most people think of nocturia, they imagine food, water, or age-related changes. Very few suspect that the way they sleep, their posture, and their pillow could be quietly causing those restless nights. Yet for many elders, this overlooked detail makes all the difference. Take the story of Mr. Hari Krishnan, a 72-year-old retired professor from Mysuru. For decades, Hari believed his habit of sleeping on his stomach helped him relax. He had read somewhere in his youth that this position kept the heartbeat calm. So, night after night, He would lie flat on his stomach with his face turned sideways and a tall pillow propped beneath his head. But as he grew older, his nights became more broken. He often woke 3 or 4 times to urinate, even when he hadn't had much to drink in the evening. He also noticed a growing stiffness in his lower back each morning. "I thought it was just age," Hari confessed. "But deep inside, I knew something wasn't right." One evening, after attending a senior wellness camp, he decided to speak with Dr. Aman Arora. After listening carefully, Dr. Arora explained something Hari had never considered. When you sleep on your stomach, you put direct pressure on your abdomen. That pressure travels to the bladder, sending false signals to wake you up even when it isn't full. On top of that, using a pillow that is too high bends the neck and spine, which affects circulation. Poor circulation in the legs during the day often leads to fluid pooling, and at night when you lie down, that fluid returns to the bloodstream, forcing your kidneys to work harder. The solution, Dr. Arora suggested, was surprisingly simple. Instead of sleeping on his stomach, Hari was advised to try lying on his left side. He placed a medium-sized pillow between his knees and used a supportive pillow under his head, one that kept his neck in line with his spine. This new position not only reduced pressure on his bladder but also allowed his body to rest more naturally. At first, Hari found it awkward. After all, he had spent 40 years sleeping the same way. But within 2 weeks of adjusting, he noticed a remarkable change. He was now sleeping for 5 to 6 continuous hours without waking. Even better, the back pain that had troubled him for years began to ease. "I never imagined such a small shift could change so much," he said with a smile. "The science strongly supports his experience. Sleeping on the left side improves blood flow, eases pressure on the bladder, and reduces strain on the spine. A pillow between the knees keeps the hips aligned, while a properly sized head pillow prevents neck tension. Together, these adjustments promote deeper rest, reduce false bladder signals, and even help with digestion and heart function." Hari's mornings were no longer filled with stiffness and fatigue. Instead, he woke refreshed, lighter, and more energetic. His daughter even noticed he was more cheerful during their morning tea. The lesson here is simple. Sometimes, the key to peaceful nights isn't in medicine or complicated routines, but in the way we lie down to sleep. By giving the body proper alignment and removing unnecessary pressure, we allow nature to do its job, healing and restoring us through deep, uninterrupted rest. So tonight, before you settle into bed, ask yourself, am I truly giving my body the posture it needs to rest? Because the peaceful sleep you've been waiting for might be just one good pillow and one small shift in position away. We've seen how food, drinks, bathroom routines, and even sleeping posture can shape our nights. But there's one more factor many elders overlook. The very environment we sleep in. The room's temperature, the clothes we wear to bed, even the fabric of our nightwear can silently decide whether we sleep peacefully or keep tossing, turning, and waking up to use the bathroom. Let me share how one elder discovered that changing the air in her room and the clothes on her skin brought back the deep, restful nights she thought were lost forever. Habit 5. Room temperature and sleepwear. The small details that transform. Sleep. Most people think of sleep as a matter of food, drink, or health conditions. But there's another quiet factor that shapes your nights. The very environment you sleep in. The air in your bedroom, the clothes on your skin, even the fabric of your nightwear can decide whether you sleep deeply or wake up restless. Consider the story of Mrs. Anjali Deshpande, a 70-year-old retired school principal from Nagpur. For years, Anjali believed that warmth and heavy clothing were essential for comfort at night. Even in the hot summer months, she would wear thick synthetic pajamas and close all the windows tightly, convinced that keeping the room sealed would help her body rest. But instead of peaceful nights, she found herself waking up 4 or 5 times, drenched in sweat and hurrying to the bathroom each time. "I thought it was my age catching up with me," she admitted. "My bladder must have become weak." When she attended a senior wellness session, Dr. Aman Arora explained something she had never realized. Overheating during the night forces the body to cool itself down. Blood circulation increases, more fluid passes through the kidneys, and the bladder fills faster. In simple terms, the hotter you are at night, the more likely you are to wake up and urinate. This was a revelation for Anjali. With guidance, she made a few small but meaningful changes. She switched to light, breathable cotton nightwear. She opened her bedroom window slightly for natural airflow and kept a small fan running to circulate the air. Instead of trapping heat under a thick blanket, she layered 2 light cotton sheets, which she could adjust easily during the night. The difference was astonishing. Within a week, her nightly awakenings dropped from 5 times to just twice. By the 3rd week, she often slept straight through until dawn. "I always blamed old age," she said with a laugh, "but it turns out it was just my pajamas and a closed window." Science supports her experience. The ideal sleeping temperature for restorative rest is around 18 to 20 degrees Celsius. When the room is too warm or clothing too heavy, the body produces sweat, increases circulation, and signals the kidneys to release more urine. On the other hand, a cooler room combined with airy fabrics like cotton or linen helps the body maintain balance, reducing both sweating and unnecessary bladder activity. And the benefits don't stop at fewer bathroom trips. With her new nighttime environment, Anjali noticed her mood lifting. She felt fresher in the mornings, lighter in her body, and more energetic throughout the day. Her granddaughter even commented, "Grandma, you look younger these days." For elders prone to feeling cold, the solution isn't heavy insulation. Instead, layering light clothes and using a breathable blanket works far better, keeping the body warm without trapping excess heat. Mrs. Deshpande's story reminds us that sometimes the smallest changes bring the biggest results. It isn't always medicine or complicated routines that restore sleep. Sometimes it's as simple as opening a window, choosing softer fabrics, or letting your room breathe. So tonight, take a moment to notice your bedroom. Is it too warm? Are your clothes helping your body rest, or silently working against it? The peaceful sleep you've been longing for may be waiting in the simplest of places, the air around you and the fabric on your skin. My dear friends, now that we've walked through these 5 hidden habits, one thing is clear. Waking up multiple times a night to pass urine is not simply old age. It is often the result of routines we have carried for years without noticing their effect on our bodies. The encouraging news is that more than 80% of these sleepless nights can be improved without medicine, just with gentle changes in how we live. Drink most of your water earlier in the day and avoid watery foods before bedtime. Have your dinner early and skip diuretic foods like tea, coffee, or watermelon in the evenings. Trust your bladder's true signals instead of forcing a just-in-case bathroom trip. Give your body proper alignment with the right sleeping posture and pillow. And don't forget the environment. Cooler rooms and breathable fabrics can transform your nights. Across India, elders who once believed restless nights were their destiny are now discovering something different. Peaceful, healing sleep is still possible. With small adjustments, they wake up lighter, clearer, steadier, and full of energy to greet the day. And now, it's your turn. Tonight, pause before bed and ask yourself, which of these habits might be stealing my rest? Which one change can I start with today? You don't have to fix everything at once. Even one gentle shift can open the door to better mornings. If this message spoke to you, don't keep it to yourself. Share this video with a friend, a sibling, or a loved one who may be silently struggling. And if you found even one tip helpful, click the like button, subscribe, and press the bell icon so that we can continue walking this path together each week. Finally, I would love to hear from you. Type the word HOPE in the comments if you believe better nights are possible, or share which habit you plan to change first. Your words may inspire another elder to begin their journey too. Remember, you have cared for others all your life. Now, let us care for you. Peaceful nights and brighter mornings await.